Once you have a car, you're going to want to get yourself a radio. And then you're going to want to bench test that radio to make sure everything works the way it should. Bench testing the radio, just making sure everything works. So you hook up all the necessary wires, red to red, black to black, get one speaker, just make sure sound's coming through. And that's what I was doing here. This was the inside shot after I took off the passenger side dash panel. You can see in the upper right hand corner is the bottom of the speaker. This is the center console where the radio will actually go. There's a little metal plate covering this, and so I had to unscrew two nuts from the back, which were fairly hard to access, but they're easy to access once I took off that little tan panel center of your screen. Once I took that off with one screw, it was easy access to the little plate. This is behind the dash before I installed anything. You can see it's a bunch of old crusty wires and dirt. And once I took off those two nuts at the upper left-hand corner of your screen, the plate easily popped off, which allowed me to put in the radio from the back, which was a little challenging to navigate through all those old wires because they're fairly stiff. But once I got them moved out of the way, I was easily able to slide the radio into place, and then I was able to hook up the two bolts to the center console. And these three wires was what was providing illumination. So when you turn on the night switch, like the gauges light up as you see them at night. This was the center console that I had to tear apart to get access to a good ground wire, or else the radio wouldn't have worked because it would have been an open circuit. This is me tearing apart the center console because I had to get behind all those gauges to get access to a ignition wire, which allows, so when you turn the key on, then everything powers on. This is the wires coming off the back of the radio. There's about probably 10 of them. It was positive, negative, ignition, and then two per each speaker, the positive, negative per each speaker. Once I had the radio in, it was time to do one more last bench test before I started hooking up wires and putting everything back together. So this is a picture of me in the driver's footwell with the battery, just making sure the radio still turns on. I didn't cut any wires I wasn't supposed to. And this is a shot of the rat's nest of wires that was behind the radio once I got everything hooked up correctly. It was a mess. But good thing is that it can all be covered up with that one little panel, and I don't have to look at it anymore, which is what I did. So I got all the wires hooked up correctly, and then I started putting the console back together. You can see those two tan panels at the center of the screen, which are basically just a cover up for the wires in the center console behind the radio. This is almost the final shot of what it came out to. I just had to finish putting on little pieces here and there, like the knobs on the radio and the shifter knob on the center console. This is the final product of what it all looks like. All works as it should. Music comes out of the speakers nice and clear. Can hook to your phone or to the antenna on the back of the car. Want to listen to FM radio or music off your phone. Now, wiring diagrams are going to be a little bit different for each car. The main thing being that the wires are going to be different colors. Now, this is not a huge issue since you can get wiring diagrams for any car ever made off of Google, but the process of installing a radio is the same across every car. You need your radio, you need positive and negative to get power, you need an ignition, that way it turns on when you turn the key on, and then two wires for every speaker you have, positive and negative. Hope this helps you installing radio into your classic car, and thank you for watching.